contact!
How deep can you plunge into the darkness?
Through the dark veil of space, time.
I wish we could have joined you sooner.
This is Warlords of Chaos.
Time is short. There is much to be done.
The wait ends now.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Warp Chatter podcast, the podcast dedicated to talking about the Horus Heresy Legion's digital card game, Horus Heresy Lore, Warhammer 40,000, everything that encompasses. This is a podcast by players for players, and for the first time, we are trying this live on Twitch. If you're listening to this on any sort of audio podcast listening format, this is pre-recorded. This isn't live. However, as of July 8th, 2022, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to leave it open up for chat, see if we get questions down the road as the episode progresses, as the night progresses. See what questions people have got, see what kind of discussions we ourselves can get into. I am your host, Scuffy, and joining us for this experiment, if you will, is the Crab co-host, Axel Manning.
If I get sucked into the warp, blame Canada.
He's having his internet issues, so we're just going to have to hope that those hold out. And, yeah, I mean, you know, if it doesn't, just...
sacrificed so many.
And then also joining us tonight is Karmatose, fellow content creator.
Hi, long time no live.
Yes. Yeah, I think the last time you were on was way back when. I don't even know the exact episode. I don't recall what we were talking about. It was Iron Warriors? Or was it after Iron Warriors? I can't recall.
Karma lives. Stomp.
He's still out there. He's still doing things. He's come back, done a couple videos. Kind of tuning in. I think the last time, for the longest time, was the video you and I did with Luther, kind of the collab.
Oh yeah, that was a Discord collab.
Yeah, and now we're kind of bringing it around, and we're having you collaborate on the podcast while you're playing the game. So for people who are actually on Twitch, who are tuning in and don't want to just listen to people talk, there's actually a game being played. That's the Horus Heresy Legion's digital card game. Karmatose is playing that, streaming that live. We can watch his bad plays or good plays and cheer along with him. But ultimately, yeah, we kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
Well, for the people who don't know you, or it's been a while since you've been on, Karmatose, take the time, tell us about yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, what got you to Legions, all that good stuff.
Oh, when did I start Legions? Was that like August of 2019, I think? And it was ultimately an ad somewhere, and I'm like, I like card games, I like Warhammer, this seems like a good combo, and I just thought it was very delightful, and I played very continuously for several years, and have recently taken somewhat of hiatuses, and I still find myself sneaking a couple games in between, work here and there, and polish my stuff. Haven't had much time recently to make content, but the bulk of my content really kicked off with themed meme decks. So decks that specialize in being themed around something to the point where nothing about it is meta per se, but it's fun to play. So things like building around Sons of Medusa, or have whatnot.
I may be just dumb, and that's quite possible, but originally I just thought it was supposed to be the meme decks, like the title, but the was missing the E. And I didn't realize it was just shorthand for theme for a while. You shouldn't be surprised based on previous Axel interactions on this podcast, but it did happen.
Well, sometimes the written word does not translate to the tone or the connotation, but the meme decks,
a lot of people.
The meme's the theme.
The meme.
Yeah. Memes are important. Some people forget that.
And I think it was originally way back when it was like, what if I just stuck 30 cards that mention the word heal on a deck, and then finding out that it actually worked. I'm like, what else can I do?
remember seeing some of those are fun.
I feel like there are some memes that have evolved and or mutated, might be the right word, since you've been gone. I think there's some new memes to tap into, whether that is all vehicles, whether that's mutations. You've got a bunch of mission builds that you could really try out. I mean, some of them are not fantastic, like the Emperor's Children or the Word Bearers or the
I'd like to think
there's untapped potential in the meme market.
That's it. That's where they're going to thrive. They're going to thrive with the meme, right?
Energy tactic that fits 2 troops and put them into play with
Desperate defense.
Desperate defense.
Woo!
Yes.
Desperate defense. Yeah, God. I remember making what I thought were the memes for that before anybody was using the card. And then it suddenly took off.
And then everyone started using that card, and it was no longer a meme. That's
Yeah.
sad. When a meme becomes meta, you can't meme anymore.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, I regret this.
Yeah. Well, you've got
Prometheus gave fire to the people.
Yeah, you've got Baleful Assembly, which is kind of a meme in of itself, although there's a couple ways to go about that with like Cypher and some other stuff, but those are options.
Yeah.
But yeah, once they become a deck that everybody wants to run, then that kind of detracts from the idea of the meme.
Yeah, it's no longer, a fun little meme. It's now the meta that everyone runs. And when I think of fun meme, I don't think... Yeah. No, a big part of it is the eventual nerf phase. Because everything gets nerfed eventually. It's just, the fact of the matter.
Well, the
Or
question is it
permanently
nerfed?
lives.
Yeah, nerfed beyond playable or not?
Yeah, that's something important that, no offense to Everguild, but they don't do perfect all the time. Where something will get nerfed and then become physically unplayable. For example, Saul Nibirin. God, he deserved to die. When was the last time you guys saw him? Well, I haven't seen him since, but right now his ability is just a joke.
Since they changed them, yeah. So Karmatose, Saul Nibirin was an event warlord that was won in an event.
Saul.
Yeah.
God, no!
One energy.
I played enough Saul to know that. Oh
Yeah.
God, that was awful.
Yeah. Since he's been changed, I have not seen him run across him.
Yeah, I have not seen or heard from him since. And honestly, it may be for the best.
What did they do to
By
nerf
May, I
him?
mean-
Did they increase the cost by 1?
They increased the cost.
No, they just removed the good part of his ability.
they removed the cost reduction.
Oh. God, that's unexciting.
Yeah. Just kind of takes away the whole point, really. I mean, it's a choose a troop, which is great, but
choose a neutral troop.
He's got 30 health. He doesn't have... Yeah, exactly. So, we've got... I think we'll be getting some questions kind of pulled in through the course of the evening. Try to get to them as we are talking. Our topic in general was going to be the Chaos card faction spotlight for the neutral cards, but there's probably going to be other things to talk about, too. Ubel4241 wants to know about our thoughts on Titans. I'll let you guys talk about that first.
I love the God Machines in every iteration except actually in... Because in-game, they're just not fun. I find them slow. I know we've been complaining about speed, but I really don't like Solitaire. If that makes sense.
Oh, I got a fun picture that surmises, but I'll just describe it. I took a picture on my phone after this game. Let me find it here. Is that
I'm
it?
very happy, though, that we got died.
Okay. It was Battle Report, Zabris Regnum versus Arum Castigator. Duration, 28 minutes and 11 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that's really...
that's
the punchline in of itself.
That's the average.
I just stopped playing for the week, and then in future event runs, I think I've intentionally gone out of my way to not pick Titans.
It was
as much as possible, and even then, it's still...
Yeah, it was worse on events because... I would say not just because it's an event, but primarily the big excitement of an event when there is a new faction. You want to play the event as much as possible because you're going to get new cards for that faction. and they're going to be in those crates, and you want to get through onto the next crate and get 10 more crates and hopefully get gold, maybe get some legendaries. The speed at the Titan games is what they're playing at when they released, as well as just the swing is like, did you get that Titan? You didn't? That's the end. Playing like such a high-low ratio that it was very unappealing from an event standpoint. I don't mind, personally, I don't mind the Titans. I enjoyed playing the Titans. I did play them a heck of a... I don't have the legendary Loyalist Titan. I do have Dice Array. They were overpowered. There is some power there.
Yeah.
But I did like... They felt like you were playing a Titan. Like, you had to be very, very careful in your energy usage. You had to know what card you had. You had to turn that I unstun weapon. This is the turn that I ready weapon because I'm going to fire it next turn and hope that there's a target that I want to kill. Like, I liked that step of the game. I didn't like the fact that it took more than just like 10 rounds. It took 10 rounds plus 20 minutes. And that's a big difference. I can play 10 rounds with most other Warlords, even other control Warlords don't go 20 plus minutes typically. But Titan rounds and Titan 10 round games definitely went that way, and it just takes away the excitement and the thrill of playing them. It's fun for a couple games, but then after that, like, I don't want to play them. I don't mind playing against them, because especially once they started, I was like, okay, let's start building decks that win against Titans, and there's a bunch out there, and I've had fun with doing those decks. But when it comes to playing them, like, I have less of a taste for it than Death Guard. Like, I can do a few games, and then I hang it up for the week.
Oh wow, really? More than Death Guard?
Yeah.
No, I feel that actually.
Yeah, Death Guard taste, but they're enjoyable. Like, I have more than Titans. I mean, I'm still only gonna play like 10 games of Death Guard, and even I played 4 games of Titans in a day. Like, even when I had Dice Array before his nerf, I was like, this isn't, number one, this isn't fair, and number two, no. Like, the only other challenge was another Titan.
Not to say it's a bad frame of reference, but that's not a good way to do it.
No.
From a gaming standpoint, if your only other competition of the same class as you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame, too, because it's just fun.
I thought I'd heard things like were especially effective against our giant, obnoxious Titans because you can murder them without having to go through all of their 150 board health or whatever they have.
Well, one of the particular reasons why traps were really good, and I'm saying were because it was really just event where it shined, was mission.
Yeah.
Most of them don't have ways to hit you, so when you play mission.
Yeah. Like, the Dice Array just has weapons that shoot. It doesn't even have fists, so you're going to get that mission off. When it comes to when it comes to actual traps, like if you're like, hey, my Titan deck versus your X's trap deck, unless you're running the mission, I don't think that's a good matchup, and for a couple reasons.
No.
Because number one, instead of using your action to stun a weapon, you're using your action to make troops or tactics. Right, you're still making traps because you have to make traps. So that's it. So you're giving them time to load their weapons. You're giving them time to prep their weapons. They're expecting to be stunned, so they have as much anti-stun removal in their hand or deck as possible. Number 2, number 3. Most of the game, as an Alpha Legion player, you are a solitary target. So any sort of random damage is going to hit your Warlord. So it's not a good idea to try. I'm like if you're playing traps and you face a Titan, abandon traps and run face, because you actually might stand a better chance at doing damage that way. Just bashing face, because you'll no, it's just not a good idea. Like in mission or in the event, or if you at least throw the mission down on yourself and then proceed with face bashing, you might actually stand a better chance.
Yeah, mission isn't bad as a counter. It's not running mission that's the problem.
Right.
You run normal traps, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of Alpha Legion trap spam anyways, so I don't really feel bad about that. but it would be nice if they had some options.
Hashtag don't play traps. Still true to this day. I did that video like 2.5 years ago. It's still true.
Even for your dailies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
okay.
even for the 80s kids. Ubil4241 also wants to know, what do you guys think about the Pi Alpha nerf?
Ooh, I don't like that
only
one.
Target self. It only
I don't like
the
that
Warlord now.
Yeah.
It's awkward to say the least.
I would die on the hill that is balance the other things before you kill off the tools other factions can use. I don't think Pi Alpha died, but it definitely was shot at least 12 times.
I mean, was that nerf even necessary? Like, it just seemed like the good pocket anti-stealth troop. It wasn't even for healing your other troops, it was more for just denying stealth.
No, not Pi Alpha.
No, Pi Alpha Pi Alpha is... Wait, are we saying Pi Alpha when we mean to say the one that removes stun?
No, Pi Alpha is the one that
Pi Alpha's
stun.
the stun.
Yeah.
I'm saying stun, right?
Yeah,
okay.
you're thinking
No,
probably
you said
Guitar
stealth a couple
Protector.
times.
Yeah. No, the Pi Alpha was an option to remove stun on any unit in Heal 3. Now it's just your Warlord to remove stun. Wonders of Tiska can still do any unit, and it heals 4, but now it costs 4. And those were specifically to slow or prevent the one-turn load fire combo that Dice Ray and other Titans could abuse with their main weapon. I think as neutrals go, those, and we talked a little bit about this in our episode with Pleasant Kenobi, I think 2 weeks ago. They're the only neutrals that do that job. Like, there's no other cards that remove stun unless you've got Mortarion as your Warlord or Meros as your Warlord. Like, there's no other ways to remove stun unless it's like in-faction cards, which the Titans already have got several in-faction cards that remove stun. So that's kind of like when you take that tool away, like Pi Alpha, I don't mind the Pi Alpha change just being Warlord only. I think that's actually not a bad idea, personally. But I would have not mind if Warlord or troop or unit, they just change it to troop or Warlord so it couldn't target a Titan weapon. Because part of the Titans issue is, depending on how big they are, is their board space. Like, if you've got a full board, you can't play Pi Alpha. You have to have a troop die so there's an open spot for you to play Pi Alpha to stun. And sometimes that strategy is just to let them keep their board full and stunned, and then they can't unstun.
Oh,
but
that is why they nerfed it, huh? Because of the new Titans.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly why they nerfed it. But it felt like it was like, okay, did they? I mean, if they just took the ability for it to remove stun on a Titan weapon, and it could still remove stun on a unit or a troop or a Warlord, would that be so bad for the same cost? I don't think so. But on the other hand, if you're running Titans, you can still just run Wonders of Tiska, and that's going to do the same thing at 1 energy more than Pi Alpha did. And heal 4 now as opposed to healing 2. So I'm not a fan of it because I don't like when they change neutrals that have a very limited, like they're the only neutrals that have that role. Like there's also, like, I want to say 2 neutrals that remove poison. Like, there's a lot of... I can't say there's a lot. There's some faction cards that are specifically anti-poison, and the Death Guard have got the most of them. But if you're, like, having poison removal with Chimu and then the life support, I think those might be the only neutrals, aside from Sabotage, that removes poison. So if you were just to suddenly improve what poison did and nerf the few cards that addressed poison, you would have a problem. Like, it would be imbalanced.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you really got to balance things by literally balancing the scale. Because the minute you start tipping one thing to one side, it's really ugly. And I feel like Titans were really pushing towards one side. Though it does hurt my... I just don't use Pi Alpha anymore. I took it out of my few decks I used it in. Like Vulcan, I don't use it on him anymore.
I didn't have it as a staple in most decks unless it was a Warlord-focused, like, aggressive Warlord deck. Like, Karn... Angron didn't need it because he had the Wonders, so that's fine. But, like, if I'm running Troop Angron, I've got it. Jagatai Khan, Sigismund, Lucius, like any Warlord that's the one that's basically pushing your damage, it was already in the deck. It's still going to do the same job. But if it's a troop focused where you're like, I got to worry about stun, I better put in a Pi Alpha, like, No, that's not going to do it for you. You're going to have to come up with a better option. Like, put a Sabotage in or put a Wonders of Tizca in there. Like, otherwise, just deal with the stun.
I'm going to be honest, Chief. There is like 9 out of 10 times I would rather let it be stunned than sabotage it. Because usually they're sabotaging something because I buffed it. Not sabotage, they stunned it because I buffed it.
Well, that's because you run Word Bearers, and you probably have got all the things on them.
I ain't losing my Demon Host stacks to a sabotage. Nothing hurts more than a Zardu special card being jammed. Holy shit, that's just pain.
That's the best. You don't get it back. Sorry.
No. Yeah, it's dead now.
Yep.
You killed me. It's funny though. Yeah, no, it's jam is pain. But besides that, now you're gonna have to run Wonders of Tizca, which got a. I don't want to use the term complete rework because that's not necessary. People really like to throw around the term rework in this community, but it's now more of a heal than an anti-stun. You're still using it for the anti-stun if you need to, but you know what I mean. More of a heal now.
Yeah, I like 4 for 4. Like 4 healing for 4 is much more of a role as far as healing. The stun removal is like secondary now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Having Pi Alpha was so important against Alpha Legion, but it seems like a necessary evil because of all the new damn Titans. But now there's also like a shit ton of ordnance. Like Precision Bombardment has ordnance. Everything has ordnance.
Yeah.
And that was really weird to wake up to and be like, what is this?
Yep. Yeah, the ordnance damage is high, and oddly, I haven't seen a whole lot of vehicles lately. It's like people stopped playing them because of all the ordnance that exists.
There's only one vehicle I still see, and it's because I play Orphans of War. It's our new flank bikes.
Ah, okay.
God bless those flank bikes.
Yep. Those are pretty nice.
I had someone Melgator them earlier today. In fact, it was while we were beginning this episode.
I had that. Somebody bounced it. Or if you're lucky enough to have a couple like cards in hand that return troop or the Apothecary Norn, you're like, I'll drop these 2 flankers that kill 2 units, and then I'll return one of them to my hand, so I've got another 2 flankers next turn. Like, that's pretty nice. I don't have Chrysos yet. I don't have Chrysos Mortog. I'm looking forward to playing the new Orphan stuff once I get him and try them out and see how they play a little bit. I don't have the mission. The only mission I managed to pick up so far was the Knights. Are you there? Did you cut out?
I like Mortog. I own Mortog. Oh, did I?
You're back. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay. I was worried I got pulled into the sea of souls by the Canadian internet service providers. No. What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't like playing Mortog. He's just not my style. I don't like random things. Nice.
Ooh, buddy, you sound like a robot.
Yeah, you're all chopped up. I don't know what's going on. If we lose Axel, ladies and gentlemen, he's having some internet connection issues. So, it's just like we travel through the warp, and sometimes they emerge, and the ships are missing crewmates. Like, it happens. Like, sometimes, for the good of the crew, we have to take I don't know what's the name of the role? What's the role given at the officer who watches over the navigators, and if one of them starts to twitch a little crazily, he just straight caps them.
You just shoot them?
Yeah.
I know there's a term for it. Can I feel like I can be heard right now, right?
We can hear you right now.
Yeah.
But will we hear you in 30 seconds?
Okay.
Is the question.
The question is, will one of you need to execute me for demon possession?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm stable. We're just gonna pray that I remain such.
Whatever you do, don't move from the exact position and spot that you're in right now. Like, remain frozen.
See,
it's not working. Whatever you're doing, you're clearly defying the orders that were given to you. So while we're waiting for Axel to find some good connection and get back on track,
don't know what I did wrong.
He didn't have the dark prayers right. We were initially, like, as a pocket topic, going to be talking about the Chaos faction spotlight. The Chaos Neutrals is the last faction spotlight we've got to go over. The Chaos Neutrals, massive card pool because they're neutrals. We're going to be getting some more. I don't know. I think we're going to get 5 more Chaos cards added in a week. I don't know what they do, although I will say this. I do have spoilers Monday for 3 Mechanicum cards. I've seen them. They are decently Mechanicum. So look forward to seeing those on Monday. Get hyped. But
Nice.
that makes me happy. I like the Mechanicum.
I like the Mechanicum. I think, honestly, out of all the neutrals, the Mechanicum is my favorite neutral card pool just because thematics, I think synergy, they synergize well. The Chaos, you've got Cultists and you've got Demons, and then you've got direct damage, and then you've got a couple cards in there that do some strange niche things. You've got Warp Retreat, you've got I forget the card that like generates tactics of a given sort. You've got Sork, you've got Equitrez, you've got then the Baleful Assembly, which is just all in on the high chaos. You've got some weird vehicles that just feel like, I guess they had to do a possessed vehicle in here. Like, it's really kind of a weird catch-all. It's very chaotic as far as a neutral card pool goes. I don't know where the best way to start talking about that is.
I think. Oh God, the laggy mic.
Yeah, we're just gonna mute you, Axel. Like, sorry, like you come in and out.
No, I understand.
The mute has to happen.
I understand. I have to die. I'm gonna screw with some things in the background, gentlemen, and we'll see if I can get it stable.
Sounds good.
I saw a delightful chaos meme the other day. There's that new tactic that makes all of your cards cost 0.
Yeah, Baleful Assembly. It's your Chaos Troops, I believe.
Baleful Assembly.
Yes, yep.
Chaos Troops. So naturally, people made what was the old. Oh God, I used to know all these names.
Desperate Defense Cipher.
It's like Desperate Defense, but instead with Cipher. So they just specifically with DOC or whatever, Defenders of Caliban, specifically get out energy buffs from your deck continuously. And oh God, that was so obnoxious.
Yeah, once they get to that 9 energy cap, and typically they try to get that Asteroid Sanctuary in there, or Asteroid Belt to get the ramp up, then they've got a full hand, and then they're just like, here you go. Greater Demons, or how about some double Naga Hiles and all these vehicles.
It was like on my energy turn 6 or 7, they got up to 8 energy with a 2 cost reduced tactic, dropped it, and then dropped 6 six-ish demons from their hand, including graders, and it was just like, wow, this hurts.
When you see it coming, like the first couple turns, you're like, okay, like the race is on, and if you get all the cards right, you can get to them, and then they drop those hands, and you've got like a turn, maybe like a stall, depending on what faction you're playing. Like maybe you've got precognition, or you've got a combo in your hand, or you've got some fast troops or whatever to finish it off, or tactic. But yeah, if you're just kind of coasting at your own pace, and they're like, surprise, you're like, oh snap.
Well, I've seen it once, and it was the first time I had ever seen it, and I had not know the card existed.
See, so that I can
Honestly,
imagine.
I was just like, I was having my morning coffee, and I'm like, oh, look, he's doing that thing. That's kind of weird. He's going to do Desperate Defense for 1 troop? Oh, okay. And then suddenly his whole hand drops on the board, and I'm just like, oh, God.
That's when you have to read the card, like, what does that card do again? Oh. Those are good moments when you're playing a card game, like an actual like tournament or something. You play a card that nobody sees played, and then your opponent, like from across the table, like has to ask, like, "What's that card do again?" So they like read it. They spend like 30 seconds rereading the 2 or 3 sentences. You're like, yes, this is what I planned when I put this card in my deck. This exact moment. There would be sometimes I would do that. I knew what the card did, but I would ask so that I would like have them explain it to me, so that I could like, okay, so just so I am aware like how you understand this card works, and whether or not it's actually correct. Like, because sometimes somebody just looks like they're throwing together a deck, or like they're copying a deck, or they're bringing in like, okay, you've got the card in here, but I don't think you really know how this card's supposed to work. But now that I know what somebody told you how this card works. I can understand that you're not correct, and here's how it actually works. And I'm going to do this on my turn. And there you go. But we don't have that interaction when you're playing a digital card game. You just have an emote. You're just like, oh.
Everything is absolute. Everything is necessarily correct and predictable, short of like a bug.
Yep. And it's just like, oh, I guess you got it. All right. I can't counter it. I can't counterspell it. I can't react to it. I can emote good job or never speak of this moment, you know? I mean, like, that's about it. Well, besides Baleful Assembly, were there other Chaos cards you have seen that were new to you?
I like the new legendary, that the Duplicitous that makes infantry. That seemed pretty solid. I think it was in the store the other day.
Oh, Sork, the Scavenger King, the 3/3.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that he's new. I haven't enjoyed running him. Like a couple times I've run him, it's like like he comes out is a 3/3 Duplicitous, but I don't know. Like I feel like by the time I bring him out here, I never actually get to use his ability. Whereas like Ekertrez I could use because he's got stealth. But at 3 energy, the follow-up turn is 4 energy. There's a flanker. Typically, most of these factions have got flankers. Like in Galaxy and Flames, almost all the Astartes got a 4 energy flanking troop of some sort. So there's an answer to that if they didn't already have it or have a tactic in their hand like Seek and Destroy. So I don't know. Like I want to like the idea of it and try it out and meme it. I just haven't had fun with it.
Were there any other new Chaos cards that I haven't seen that you could tell me about?
I'm just.
First thing I'm going to do is
yeah, I mean,
I'm going to go look it up here in a sec.
As far as the because I can't go into the game here right now. I've got the Twitch open, but as far as the legendaries go, that was the legendary for Chaos. They got some infantry that I think were kind of cool. They got a couple of bodyguards that are like. I want to say they're like 4/5, and if your Warlord is attacked, it deals 2 damage to the attacker. Kind of building on that whole Dark Retinue bodyguard concept. You've seen it in a couple other cards. It's still bounceable by Melgator. It can still just be attacked, and then it doesn't actually do anything if it's attacked. But that's not a bad card. I really like. It's a Mechanicum card, but it's kind of chaosy. Is the Dark Mechanicum Adept, which just like as a resolution makes a Chaos Beckon right in your hand. It's a 3-drop. I like that one. Oh yeah, then there's the 3/4 that grows with every cultist you play. It heals fully.
Oh
yes,
yeah. That I've lost games to that one. Or it heals 2 and gets
heals
+1
2
and to play a cultist.
Yep. That's really great for cultist decks. Probably, and yeah, that's the other one. The 5 cost is the other one I was talking about.
How's this one?
The elite
bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
Deals 2 damage to the attacker.
Yeah,
that's solid. That's solid stats. Solid
it's not
ability.
bad for the stats. You know, and if you're doing
Surprisingly,
Chaos
doesn't
infantry,
have the cultist keyword. It's
correct.
not a cultist.
Nope, it's just an elite bodyguard. But yeah, like I mean, they got a couple cards. I don't know if they got any more crazy tactics than they already had. I don't know if they really needed any more crazy tactics than what they already had, honestly.
Well, they have that new Demon, Ward, Maintenance 2, Resolution, give Mark of Chaos to your non-Daemon.
The Remnant, yes.
All of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that's really good when you've got a board full of troops that are either, it doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter if they're vehicles. It doesn't matter if they're structures. It doesn't matter if they're 1/1s. You drop that on, then they all get Marks of Chaos. Works really nicely with like a Dark Mechanicum deck, or a Death of Innocence build or something like that, or, you manage to maybe have a bunch of turrets that have got Bastion on them.
And Maintenance 2 when you're up at Energy 7 might not really mean much if you're running a weenie deck with a big wide board state.
Right, that has managed to...
On Energy turn 8, I'm down to 6. Whatever.
Yep. I've got a bunch of little cheapy guys.
Built-in ward, that's obnoxious.
Yes.
Built-in ward is obnoxious.
I hear Axel's back for the time being.
Hello, am I hearable?
You're audible now.
Okay. I had fixed some things, and I think I'm I think I'm good now. The warp is a cruel mistress. She giveth, but she also taketh.
Have you ever known anyone to... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, have you known anyone to actually run Promethean Refinery?
No.
No.
Not at all.
We
Never seen it.
We didn't get that on... Like, we didn't get that card on purpose.
Yeah. That was the alternative to Drilling Site.
Yeah.
The 8 energy drilling site, yeah.
Well, originally it was going to be
6.
like, I think 4 energy. Or was it 6 energy?
I think it was a 6 cost card initially, but the same ability, lower stats.
Yeah, lower stat, everything was lower about it, but it was pretty much the same card.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same. And then obviously, because we actively fought for the current drilling site, we wanted this drilling site as well.
You know, why
Natural.
not? Like, listen, if you're gonna drill, you keep drilling. Like Bruce Willis taught me that.
You know, we need to find the oil, I guess, in this case. And the oil is a bad card. The Prometheum. Prometheum is just knockoff of gasoline.
It just needs, the summer that movie came out was, I will not ever forget the abundance of Aerosmith everywhere. And that, I really liked
Not
Aerosmith.
Every summer?
No, up that summer's particular. I really liked Aerosmith up until that year. And then I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't enjoy their music anymore. It has been overplayed. It's everywhere. It's not even... when they stopped playing it on the rock stations and they started playing it on the pop or the mix stations, I was like, that's it. That's it. I'm done.
Life is over. Aerosmith has taken over.
No, you've ruined the Smith. You've ruined the Arrow. That's my sweet emotions. I'm out. I'm gonna go play with my toys in the attic. Get a grip. I tried, but I was living on the edge, and that's it.
You're just trying with these titles. I want to somehow fit you would looks like a lady in here.
I don't know how you would. You know why I left that off? Because Janie's got a gun, so I was like, hey, back off.
Damn it. You know what? I may just jump back into the warp. Maybe it was worth it.
It was. I'm telling you, that's where it was at. It was good times. So yes. Did you ever play? This is totally going off the rails here from Legions, but into video games. I've talked about this with others, but did you ever play Revolution X in the arcade, the Aerosmith arcade shooter?
That exists.
Oh, it was such a great game. It was better than the Terminator 2 game, Terminator 2: The Gun. Because, back in the day, there was a thing called arcades, and you would have to go to them to play these specific games that you could not play on consoles because they were arcade games. And some of them had, guns that you could actually hold and shoot at the screen because that was half of the experience. And the Revolution X game, it was like 3 or 4 levels, and it was an on-rails shooter, and you were in a post-apocalyptic future where music was outlawed. And the members of Aerosmith were leaders of the underground resistance, but they had been captured and free them and their groupies prison. And they had a bunch of the groupies were all performed and acted by the same actress who played the Sonya Blaze in the original Mortal Kombat series. And she had that gig, and she was also a cheerleader in NBA Jam. But she had like several different costumes, and she was in various scenes, and you'd blow up a cage and free her, and she'd run off screen, and she'd be down at the end of a mission after you rescued the various members of Aerosmith. The groupies that you rescued would be there too. And I remember the ammo was not bullets. It was music, and
God damn it.
and instead of a grenade launcher, like you had like a limited shot, like power up charge, instead of a grenade launcher, it was laser discs and compact discs. Like it was just like you would get compact discs and you'd shoot them and they would blow up. Like it would be a CD that would go and hit this tank and blow the tank. Oh, well, such great 90s arcade top, like premium era stuff. Like that was really the height. That was the height of it.
It was a different time.
It was a different time, and and ultimately that brings me back to my point. Sometimes you never stop drilling. That's what Bruce Willis taught me.
How does that? I'm amazed. at this segue, how we somehow got back here.
Well, what it comes down to is I don't want to miss a thing, and I didn't want to miss.
Oh my god.
So, all Aerosmith jokes aside, getting back to the Chaos card pool and the various cards. Axel, were there any other new Chaos cards that got added while Karmatose was AFK from the game?
I'm trying to think. There were a bunch of just like random commons they've added and just like little event rewards, but none that are like significant enough to just pop out of my head.
Yeah,
Baleful was important. Sork kind of just exists.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like crazy that like became as meta-defining as Warp Retreat or Desperate Defense or anything like that. Like there's some interesting cards. Some Chaos Infantry got some additional cards or anything like that. But yeah. Oh,
you guys covered a lot of the big ones, like new bodyguards, while Slanesh was pulling me into the warp.
Yes. Frank Knight does shout out, we did not get Lord of Flies. You did miss a second or a third. You missed a third attempt to free the Lord of Flies into the game, and we denied him once again. So it was great.
Need to bring him out back and shoot him in the fucking head. We can't get him at this point.
No.
He has died.
I deny
Lord of
him.
Flies is a corpse.
Not to be confused with the new death card. What's that fellow? It's like
Grolger?
Corrupted Grolger?
Corrupted Grolger.
Who puts in
Is this not the same art?
No, that's totally different art.
Oh, okay.
Because Lord of Flies was Decimus, was the Death Guard recruit that he possessed initially. And his art.
Varen? I know Lord of Flies jumps bodies a lot. Didn't he possess Varen at one point, and then Varen blew himself up? Or
yes.
am I thinking of a different guy?
Nope, that's how Maester Varen... Yeah, that's spoilers. That's how Maester Varen went down.
Okay, I'm sorry, folks, but Maester Varen goes out in a pretty cool way.
He went down in a cool way, and he's like, listen, this is my body, my choice. That's what he said. And, I mean...
I'm pretty sure part of his quote was, fuck Chaos, Lamau, and then he exploded.
But it worked out. It was a good scene that actually takes place in Buried Dagger. If you want to follow up on that, that is the last book in the Horus Heresy series. Before you get into the Siege of Terra series, which I have just about started. I've got the book marked. I think I started like 3 pages in the chapter. I just need some more time to sit down and get the hardback. So I really want to absorb it.
I forgot how recent that one was, so I kind of feel bad. But it's 30k. Everyone dies.
I mean, ultimately, that's what's going to happen, you know. But the Buried Dagger covers like 2 stories basically. You get the Mortarion and his final travels before he reaches Terra, and then you also have got the last part of Garrow and the Knight Errant's journey before the siege begins. So, not a bad book. I thought it was a good book to end on. I think the book prior to that was a poor choice. Titan Death, ironically.
Oh, Titan Death.
I felt like Titan Death should have been the third to last. It should have been followed by Slaves to Darkness. And actually, like chronologically, Slaves to Darkness actually takes place after Titan Death. But for some reason, when they printed them and released them, Titan Death is the second to last in the series, and it really shouldn't be. Like, technically, the events that happen in Titan Death happened before Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah, I want to understand the ordering. And Titan Death especially offends me because we have good Titan-related books. Those exist. So what happened with Titan Death? How does in a world where Titanicus, the book, exists, but Titan Death also exists?
Much like this expansion, it exists to slow and stall and kill any sort of momentum and interest somebody has in a series. That's my
it's
nice way.
True.
Of, like, realistically, like the last 60 pages of the book, Titan Death, are good. Like, action happens, plot progresses, things are like there's events happening. The rest of the book, which is about another 240-ish pages, is so much like trudging. Like, it was painful to read. Like, I literally, like 13 chapters, there was one action scene. Like one battle and one half flashback battle. Like, it wasn't even a full thing. They just like flashed back to that one time we were stomping a city. Like, that's it. Like, by the time we actually got to where things were happening, I was like, I'm 13 chapters in. I cannot believe the entire disappointment like that. If I was a person who was a fan purely of Titans and wanted to know about the houses and the type of formal greetings that they have, and the clothes, the clothes that they might wear when they wake up in the morning, like those things would, I guess, intrigue me for the first 12 chapters. But if I want to read a Titan book because I want to see war machines of a Titan scale going at it, that's really what I came to the game for. So so that's what happened in Titan Death. Titan Death was a massive waste of time, but Barry Dagger was very good. I enjoyed that.
The last book I got through was No Fear. So how far away is that from No Fear?
Oh, dude. Like, No Fear, that's the Ultramarines Battle of Calth, right?
Yeah.
You've got like 30 more books to go, at least.
Oh, so I don't even... It's not even on my radar, then.
No.
Fantastic.
Nope, not even close. Like, not even close. So, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. I don't know what your reading order is. Some people read them. At this point, there's so many books. Some people are just like, I don't want to read that story. I'm going to skip ahead. And I don't think you have to... You don't have to read the Horus Heresy series chronologically. But you should read some. Like, some events clearly happen before others.
I think I've read it Wikipedia chronologically, so to say. You know, it says this is book 1, this is book 2. So that, whatever that chronological is, I guess release order.
That's how I read them too. And there are only a couple books where the events that happen in one happen before another, but they're not overlapping. They're not taking place next to each other. Aside from the two Prospero books, which are written from different points of view, so you can go ahead and read them in that order. That's fine.
I think I made my peace with any discrepancies for timing or etc. just because of the notion of listening, in my case, to these books as being like almost historical recounts or things where there's contradictions in them, presumably. Yeah. Like, when you have 100 different books, they're gonna start to step on each other's toes for like, wait, how could this person be here if they were over here, within this duration or whatever. So, I drink my beer and I just relax. Not while driving, though, which, ironically, is when I usually listen to the books, so...
Yeah, no I like to listen to the books while at work, because I do a very monotonous job, so it's just like, okay, while I'm doing this job that I just, like, zone out for, I'm listening to audiobooks. Good way to do it.
I'm just looking at a couple of the chat questions. We got a couple more people hopping on here.
Nice.
What is the code from some email? Oh, that's reference, I guess, to how to get into Twitch. Yeah, you got to do that. You got to double verify. Everything now needs to double verify, then scan this barcode, and then laser your eye.
And then send us your
we're glad that you made it. We're glad that you hopped on and are with us. We're just talking a little bit about the book series, where we're at, and kind of catching up, and then lamenting why Titan Death is just such a terrible book. That, ironically enough, mirrors the feelings that I have about this expansion. But I will say the non-Titan related cards have been very enjoyable, and we talked about that last week. We've got neutrals coming out. I think we got 20 neutrals. We're getting some Mechanicum cards, like I said. I'm going to be doing spoilers Monday for those, so you can look forward to those. But outside of Mechanicum and spoilers and Titan Death stuff, Chaos card pool, like it's big, it's bad. Faction spotlight. Let's cap it off, and then see if we can get some more questions. Looks like we got a couple more people hopping on, which is great because we want to field questions. The whole point of having this format is to have an open format and see what people out there want to know, and just have general discussion, because we don't get to do that a whole lot.
All the work was sucking me away. Did we talk about the Warlords of Chaos?
We have not talked about the Warlords of Chaos. Let's go ahead and let top Warlord of Chaos for you. Like, there's several.
I gotta give it to Canis, simply because he was the first, and also because I really, really love his Titan Legion. So when I saw the Yellow Boys being represented, I was happy. The Warp Runners, I forget their actual professional Legio name. They're the only Titans who can teleport, which I think is just goofy, and that's why I love them. The dumber something is in 40k, the higher chance Axel likes it. That's just your reminder for the folks at home. The way it is. Dharma, what's your favorite Chaos Warlord? And why is it Chaos Spawn?
Ooh, that's a hard one, because it's a toss-up between Chaos Spawn and Ingethel. Because Ingethel was the first Warlord to get me to 2,500.
Well, since you've been gone, to quote a certain song, were you aware that Chaos Spawn now removes or ignores maintenance 2?
Yeah, I did notice that one, and it's well deserved. Lordy, that makes it so good. Probably still Ingethel, just because of the rise to power after watching LCRF?
LCFR?
LCFR, there we go. And his whole spiel on which one do I do? Yeah, I'm getting stuck on the game. But he made a video right when I started back in like August of 2019-ish on Ingethel, and I'm like, I can do that. It's just enough epics, and it's what carried me to 25k, which in turn probably encouraged me to start making video content, because, yeah, it helped me, so.
Yeah,
although, to be fair, anyone who watches my content, they're just going to make crap, so.
Well, speaking of that, updated my journal says, if anything, tell Karmatose I am having fun with his Blood Angels mission deck, so crap or not, people are having fun with it, so there you go. Pirate chooses Goreborn. Pirate lives that Goreborn life. I like Goreborn. It's a little straightforward, but there's nothing wrong with that. But personally, for me, my favorite is Captured Mandragorax, because it's my go-to. Like, I just got to play. I can make a deck that just feels like I'm stomping, blasting things. Like, it's great early on too, when people want to drop some troops and they don't get to keep those troops around, because I can clear most anything. Late game is where you struggle, but whatever. And if you want to talk Titans, that technically was the first Titan Warlord in the game, so I'm going to stick with Captured Mandro.
I gotta ask for Pirate, is it simply because he's a Cornate character that he's your favorite? It seems most likely. If Pirate likes anything, it'd be the guy all about hitting things.
He says yes. Pirate
agrees. That makes sense.
There you go.
A fellow Canadian who probably has seen the warp pulling in our Rogers internet connection today. Don't ask how I'm here, Pirate. I'm the only person I know with Rogers who has a connection right now, and I don't know how.
I like the fact that your internet provider is called Rogers. It just sounds like it's like the guy across the street.
It's my guy.
It's like, hey, is Rogers' internet up? Yeah, he's good. We're going to go over there tomorrow and watch the game. Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like a company at all. It sounds like just like some dude.
The closest we got to that, Fran, is Runestorm, where Fran asked, how about a Chaos Warlord for each Chaos God? Yeah, the closest we got is Runestorm. I would like more like the Heralds for Chaos Neutral. That'd be fun. Yeah,
like there are the greater demons as far as troops go, right? Like as far as the Heralds go, because I was thinking about it, I think we talked about this last week when we were talking about the Runestorm 5th Warlord as being at the Red Angel. The only other like Herald of the Runestorm that was in the books was like not Nagahile, I'm drawing a blank off my Nemiel. And that's a troop. That's a troop basically, but that's the one that Sanguinius and Gilliman and the Lion all had to face in the Runestorm to be able to make it through, so that Sanguinius could get to Terra. But it's a troop. It's not a warlord. So it would be cool if there was another neutral, chaosy demon warlord to kind of work, as opposed to like, we've got Ingethel, which is kind of undivided. You've got Goreborn, which is more of a Khorne leaning. What if you got
more of a Khorne leaning, guy. Not completely Khorne leaning.
No,
just a wee bit.
He's just a little bit there. Never mind.
Demon Prince of Khorne.
Never mind that.
And then of course, then you have Daemons of the Runestorm making things complicated and confusing.
Yeah, because they go a little bit more full out.
Which, funnily enough, Runestorm got one Tzeentch demon. They heard our prayers and gave us exactly one Tzeentch demon.
Just enough to keep it, a little confusing. you could say.
I want to confuse it.
What do you think about the demons? Like, as far as they go, because like we've got Tzeentch demons, we've got Greater Demons of Tzeentch, we've got Telos Changers, which is a troop. We've got several like Chaos demons that are Tzeentch demons. You've got the 5/2s. You got the Seducers. Like, they're out there.
I can never remember if its name is Remnant or Revenant. You guys talked about him.
Yeah, we talked about.
I really like that.
Yeah,
I really like that demon. I play Lorgar. Unsurprisingly, I like Word Bearers. It is a fun card.
Oh yeah.
Is it great? No, but do I have a good time? Yes.
Fun. What a concept.
You know,
crazy.
hey, listen, we can't have fun with this game. That is not allowed.
You're right. It's illegal.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Crime.
Pirate asks, what do you think about having Kairos as a warlord and have his ability be choose a card that has been played and put it in your hand, or choose a card in your opponent's hand and put it in your hand for 1 energy? It would be lord related to, and finally a Tzeentch warlord.
That could be fun. Even though I'm pretty sure they used Kairos' art in game, and I'm pretty sure his art is what they use for the current Tzeentch Greater Demon.
No, wait, is this make a copy or steal?
I think it's choose a card that has been played, so you're making a copy, or choose a card in your opponent's hand, and put it in your hand. Like I think if it was choose a card and put a copy of it in your hand for 1 energy, kind of like Amon from the Thousand Suns, but not using Psyker energy, that would be fine.
I have a question. Can I copy the Reckoning, please? Let one of them copy Reckoning.
No, although there should be a Primarch that can reckon and whispers and reckon multiple times. Like, what if you kept copying a Reckoning and kept like reducing the trigger, and like you reckoned once and then you reckoned again, kind of like an alpha or a alpha.
That could be. Choose a card and give it warp juice. I like that. I also like the fact, Lurgar's still alive despite all the nerfs, and by that I mean he's on life support. Someone tried to play him this season. I saw him on the meta report. What do you have, like a 40% win rate? But he was there.
Are you sure it wasn't you? Are you sure it wasn't you?
I have only played Branson since they've added Weapons of War mission, so it wasn't me.
I like the idea of cards with the Tzeentch as a warlord. I wouldn't have a problem with it paying 1 energy to choose a card, as long as it's a tactic. Like, I don't think choose a card and put a copy of it in your hand. I would have it 1 energy, choose a card. If it's a tactic, put a copy of your hand. If it's not, it costs 2 more till your next turn.
Oh, from your opponent's hand. That's what you're saying, from your deck.
Right. That way you don't like lose out, because Sanguinius has got that ability where it's like, all right, I'm looking at a card in your hand, like, great, a single card. So it's not even full hand knowledge. It's not like Melkador, where then on top of that, if you play it, I get a benefit. Sanguinius is just like, I looked at it. At least this way, if you're not going to copy it, you could still interact with it to a way where your opponent's like, now I can't play this. Chaos! Oh, I'm mad at it.
I will never understand the people who will die on the hill that Sanguinius doesn't need a better ability. Sure, his passive is good. He himself is not. And his ability is a joke.
I've always thought that he should have the same ability that he's got, but with the caveat, if it's a tactic or if it's a troop, like pick one or the other. Doesn't matter which one. Gain precognition until your next.
That could become a problem because it's just me spamming my ability. It could give Survivor 1 and I'd be happy with it. At least with that I can survive.
Survivor 1 would be okay. The thing is, if it's a tactic and you have precognition and you're facing a tactic burn deck, guess what? They can still shoot you. Like, it doesn't matter. But if it's a troop, you know, that's a little different. Like, there is some wiggle room there. But yeah, like, as it is now, like, it's if not the most worthless ability, it's the second most worthless ability in the game.
Oh, easily. And, Sanguinius is mostly shit. I like playing the Birdman. He's a fun warlord. He is probably their worst behind Meros, or rather after Meros. And,
It seems to be like that, though.
No, it wasn't.
It's not like he changed. His
No, he didn't.
He didn't change. The game has changed around him.
The world changed.
Yeah, the world. It was basically like you're watching, the Sanguinius of the series, and he's like, I'm still the angel, but this world, everybody around me is expecting better things, and I know what happens.
A good fucking character in the books, and he's done so dirt. He has so many good one-liners. Like spoilers for which book were the Blood Angels?
Spoilers for anybody who doesn't know what happens to Sanguinius. If you haven't ever played Warhammer 40,000.
I'm referencing when he's fighting Kabunda.
Oh,
and he goes, only an angel can fly, and then rips off Kabunda's wings. It's so fucking good.
You're talking,
is a good boy.
But that's in the Siege book, right? Not Fear to Tread.
No, it's not in... No. Yeah, it's in Fear to Tread. He stabs Kyrus onto the wall, and then tackles Kabunda, and during the tackle, they're fighting, and he rips off one of his wings and yells, only an angel can fly. I'll find the excerpt here soon. It's so good.
That book was hard for me. Fear to Tread.
Really?
Like, there were some good parts to it, and then there were some parts where it was like, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, like the whole, like, Sanguinius, and I think they kept it up with it for like another couple books. Like, he was just like willing to give himself up for anything. It was like, oh, we're stuck here on this planet. Like, well, I guess I'll kill myself, and then everybody will be like, what? No, don't do that. The demons won't let us go. Well, I guess I'll just kill myself. They get what they want. You get what? These are demons. Like, why are you negotiating? Like, it's like, well, we're out of gas. Like, I'll just kill myself. We get some gas that way for my blood. Like, it was like, dude, like, be a
He was more suicidal than Kurz.
It was really bad. It was like, really? Like, come on. Like, are you just not smart, Sanguinius? Like, I get that he would have empathy, and he truly is one of those Primarchs that really is passionate, cares for his sons, but like some of those parts was like, come on, man, like, bigger picture here. Like, when lowly apothecary Meros is like, no, seriously, it won't cost me anything. Like, I'll do it. Don't worry. You're more important than me. Like, what happened to the Custodians that were with the Blood Angels? Yeah, the Space Wolves got some friendly fire. I don't know if they killed the Custodes. Power wants to know in that book. I don't know if the Custodes died from the Space Wolves. The Space Wolves were actually killed by the Flesh-Tear Amet going crazy. I think they fought, but I don't know if they did anything beyond that. I don't know if they really dove into like what happened to them, or if some of them died on Cygnus Prime or not. Like, they were there, but then by the time Sanguinius gets to Ultramar, they're not with him anymore. So they must have gone down swinging somewhere.
You want to know what those Custodes are? They're plot devices that the other writers forgot about.
Probably.
That's what they feel like to me, because it's like, oh yeah, our Custodes are here, right, guys? What do you mean, what Custodes?
Well, yeah, because like at the early books, they're like, okay, so everybody gets some Space Wolves and Custodes sent to them to keep an eye on them. All right, thanks. Now I've got to figure out what to do with these Custodes and Space Wolves in my story. Well, we'll just lock them in a room. What if I just have them killed? Okay, well, you can do that too. Like, now you got to figure out what to do with it.
I feel like the guy who wrote about the Space Wolves in the Iron Hands Legion didn't like the Iron Hands, because like, what did the Space Wolves do? They shot a bunch of Iron Hands. That's it.
Well, he probably didn't like the Iron Hands at all. It's like, why am I writing about these Iron Hands?
Yeah, and to be fair, the Iron Hands were performing necromancy, and that's not allowed.
I'm just always sad that I've read what feels like 17 books or whatever, or listened to, and only in one short story did I get any. Oh no, you said Iron Hands, sorry. I was going to.
Yeah, you're thinking about the Iron Warriors? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if it makes you feel better, Slaves to Darkness was another good. I would say a third of that book is Perturabo's journey, and that was good. And Talon is another great one. That's a collection of stories, but that's a really good Iron Warriors grind.
Even though they lose at the end, it's still a really good book. Yeah. And why can't I remember the Dreadnought's name? He's such a good boy, and I can't remember.
Ancient Harend?
Ren.
Yeah.
Harend has some great parts in that, and the ending is perfect, because he gets to his goal, and he's just like, you know what?
Well, I love the Dreadnought that was in the short story from the book I did read that like painted himself black. painted himself to look like the walls.
Like Dantiok, the Dantiok story where the spire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one's good.
That was good.
Dreadnoughts are the best characters in any books they're in. It's just the way they work.
Yep.
I finished the Night Lord omnibus recently, and Malkarion, perfect in all of it. His last words before being entombed were, "Please don't entomb me."
Yeah, there was another one. I want to say, who was the word bearer that was like? Because like back in the like 40k, like the Chaos Titans, or not Chaos Titans, the Chaos Dreadnoughts typically are insane. Like, and even when I started playing the game, like 3rd edition, like that was like they could friendly fire because the Marines inside have gone insane. And there was a word bearer story where there was a guy, I forget his name, but he was in a campaign with against the Ultramarines, and there was some like fire warhead, not necessarily a life eater virus, but very similar, like a living fire weapon that was used on the planet and burned a bunch of stuff.
Phospec?
Yeah, like basically, yeah, it was similar to Phospec, but even worse, and it like burned him to the point where like he was almost dead, and he's like on this gurney, he's just like a pile of like melted, burned flesh, charred flesh, and he used to be the captain of this company, you know, and he was like, you know, sort of, I don't want to say proud or honorable, but like he had his standards, and then he's like, no, they're coming to put me in the Dreadnought. No, like but he can't speak because his tongue's been burned off, and like, and you know what's going to happen to him, and it's like, oh, like that's where you get your crazy Chaos Titans from.
Yeah, most of them don't want to be put in the Dreadnoughts for some reason.
Surprise!
It might be the fact that they get a wee bit
stir crazy.
Well, yeah. Also, the awakening rituals tend to just be torture, so that's not good.
Yeah, I don't think the Chaos Legions are. I won't say necessarily gentle, but not like, I don't think their ceremonies for entombment are appreciative.
To be fair,
of the party being interred.
In their defense, a lot of them are still using the old rituals, and the old ritual was just shock the guy's head until he woke up.
If it works, it works. You know, what wins the fight? Wins the fight.
Exactly.
Well,
Dreadnoughts are still the best.
When it comes to the neutrals for the Chaos, what would you guys say is your? There's a lot. I'm going to say top 3. Like, I'm not going to cut top 5. Top 3 Chaos neutrals, not Warlords.
All right, I got to give it to defense satellites simply because you know why, Scuff.
Oh, you know what? That's it. I'm turning you off. Like that's we're going to end this right now.
Please don't send me back to the war.
You've been executed.
I just escaped.
That's it. That's not allowed.
No, please. I beg of you.
Golly. What are the go-tos?
Yeah, there's a lot of options. I guess Informant Network is just at the top. Because it's my only anti-stealth in 90% of the factions I play. Fuck you,
I know the one
Axel. Oh, pirate.
I know the one I love to hate. The one I love to hate is freaking Kazdrak. I've lost so many games to enemy Kazdraks just being like, I'm dropping this, and then swinging with a troop, and then everyone buffs, and then everyone buffs.
Yeah, you kill 2 troops, you're like, everybody gets +2. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like that. I've seen more games landslide win thanks to this.
Yep. He makes those zoo decks work, whether it's the flies or toads or Jaegers or cultists or whatever.
You know, you say that. I guess I got to give it to Kazdrak as one of the demons. I'm going to pick 3 demons.
Go for it.
Kazdrak, probably Revenant, or Revenant his name. And you know what? The Sarlacc pit himself, Drakniel, or whatever his name is.
Drakniel, huh? Okay.
Those are all 3. Those are all 3 really fun cards.
That's a fun one for word bearers, especially with their mission.
Mm-hmm.
Warp Chicken is a pure meme pirate, and while I respect it, no, I disagree. I run meme anyways, so Warp Chicken just hurts me.
I think Talath is a pretty good random pick. Just 6 for a 6/7 that gets you 1 free tactic, and then it's either they kill it, and if they don't kill it, then you get to swing out for 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maintenance 3 is really steep, but
It's
might
only
make it
it's
into
only
like
maintenance one with Ingathel and the Warp Spawn.
And it's only maintenance 2 with Lorgar.
I'm
the
just
best
saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's make a little chaos here. Let's see.
For me, I don't know. Like, my favorite 3 Chaosies.
Slayer of Worlds is very beefy, but at the same time, that maintenance 7 and a guy who can stun you, you're dead. You've killed yourself.
I'm gonna say Nurglings is one of them because they go in so many decks, and not just decks for memes, but like challenge decks that need troops, demon deck. Like they're a troop that like they work. Like Nurglings, when you get them on board, these things are annoying. I feel like I've got half of my challenge decks whenever I'm playing a challenge has got a Nurgling in there because it works, whether it's backline, whether it's low cost, whether it's a troop with 1 attack or less. I mean, like, it works.
That reminds me. Was it today's shop or yesterday's shop? Because this is live for once, that actually makes sense. That has a Nurgling in it for no reason. Is it today's?
I haven't seen the shop. Karmatose, what's the shop? Show us the shop. Where is it?
Alright, I'll go back to making that. Let's see.
I would go with the Nurglings.
Well, I want to agree with you, Knight, but Demon Host says otherwise. Knight said no troop is beefier than Slayer of Worlds. I'd like to introduce you to my Dark Martyr.
I think he means inherently, but
personally, I like Corrupted Arcology for fun. If I'm going cultists, I like just to have a structure that's pumping out cultists. It doesn't do anything with when it's killed, unlike regular Arcology, but I just like making cultists that way. And Cygnus Fanatic. Cygnus Fanatic goes hand in hand with Nurglings. Yeah. So if I'm going to pick Nurglings, I'm going to pick Cygnus Fanatic because that works as a cultist. It works as a zoo build. It works with Lucretia. Like it's good.
I feel like Corrupted Arcology could just have a backlash where it put in anything and I'd be happy. Like even Wounded Zealots, I can at least find.
If it just backlash put in a lesser demon, it would be cool. Like, you destroyed my ecology. Guess what? There was a demon inside. But
that could be fun.
Why not? Why not? Put in a battle flies. Put in a plague flies. I mean, it could be crap. It could be good. You could put in play a Kazrak. You never know. But Kazrak is definitely probably a really good card. Like, you guys have named good cards. I'm just naming cards that I have fun playing with.
All right. Defense Satellites.
No. That right there, though, that loses you points, like, forever in the warp. Like,
I prayed to the RNG gods, and they delivered me.
That's just the worst kind of... Anytime defensive satellites, like, and I don't care if I get hit with defensive satellites in the middle of the game and you wipe a board, like when it's the last play and it's like the damage off that you needed to get lethal, I'm like, it doesn't count. Like, I mean, technically it wins, but like, sorry, like you didn't have a better play. You couldn't have played something more consistent. Like, you lost because you included that in your deck. The very fact that you thought this is a card I should put in my deck makes you a loser in my mind.
Gosh, in my
defense, there's a lot of times where that's the only board-wide damage I had because of the faction I played, so I took it.
Hey, listen, if you're playing Zardu Leyak, you've got board-wide damage. What are you talking about? You've got Camille. You've got Destiny's Hand.
I'm pretty sure that was... I had Erebus as my other option, too, and that was just my fuck it chaos deck.
So you really dove into it then. You're like, you know what I've got?
Yeah.
I've got
RNG. I got RNG.
I got 2 things that people don't like. I've got Erebus and I've got defensive satellites.
I'm pretty sure that entire deck, every part of it was randomized, and yet I still got perfect RNG.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works in your favor. You know what? The trade-off is that your Uncle George's internet provider's not working tonight. So.
Oh, Roger, please give me the internet. Oh, I haven't seen a person play a new word bearer card since they've been added, and I've not played them either.
No, I like it. If I see somebody play the 2 cost rare, like, I think that's the only thing I've seen played.
I saw a new Warlord.
Corferon?
Oh no! Wait a minute.
Yeah, Corferon was
no. I No, I have not seen that one recently. I got my factions mixed up.
Or you
Yeah, I was talking about Ringstorm. No, but you're right. I guess I haven't seen very many Bearer cards played.
There's a good reason for that, because they are not great. A lot of them are built around helping you get the mission that you don't want to do.
they're not even built that well around getting the mission. Like, that's the worst part about it.
You want to know what the only good part about these Wordbearer cards are? They added a Terminator to the Wordbearer faction. There were no Terminators in there. We got it, and it's an awful card. But it's a Terminator.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you get one. You get a vehicle, and you get a Terminator. That's it.
I forgot. We also didn't have a Land Raider till that.
Now you have
I
one.
mean, I get it. Wordbearers are supposed to be, how do I say this? They're like an infantry-based faction.
Yeah, they've got
again,
the cultists with them, and they're more on boots on ground.
Yeah, but then you look at Death Guard, who are even more so, and they got like 15 vehicles in their faction. So, I don't understand EG.
I remember when I first started playing 40k, and the Death Guard were like, okay, this is Death Guard Plague Marine. Like, it was Death Guard, and if you were playing Death Guard, then everybody got that Mark Nurgle, and you'd have to have 7-man squads. But you couldn't have bikes. This is before Death Guard could have bikes, which was, I think, 5th or 6th edition. If you had a Rhino, that made the troop a fast troop instead of... So, like, if you wanted to have troops, you had to have at least 2 units of 7 that just were on foot. They didn't have any fast things. Like if anything, you had a possessed... either a possessed Vindicator or a possessed Land Raider, like if you were really playing like a bigger game, and that was it. And then it was just like plod and slog, and then some Terminators maybe with like a Lord, and then two codexes later, they give them bikes and they give them vehicles. It's like, look, the Death Guard can go fast. Good night, Frank. Thanks for joining us.
I just got out a energy turn 4 Slayer of Worlds.
That's the
How do you
best.
do that? I'm pretty sure what you just did is a sin.
That's what he wants.
But I respect.
Now, if he
After
plays,
hell.
he didn't play Win of the Week, so you know what? That's what he gets.
Yeah.
He had his chance. He had one chance to play Winnow, and he said, "Nah."
No! How dare you?
Oh no, he's gonna play that for cheap too, because
that was a misplay.
Yeah. Now you can get rid of that.
Although it does accelerate it by 2 energy, I guess. Huh.
Well, that's handy. That's a handy play. That Unbreakable Focus. Very nice.
I respect the
weird.
guy playing Medusan, though.
Yeah. This is practice.
Is that
You
player's
see my-
name Widow's Wall?
Widow's Whale, I think.
Widow's Whale. Okay, my screen is a little bit smaller because I'm watching through the Twitch chat here. So as far as the neutral goes, the whole Chaos card pool, if we're ranking it scale 1 to 10, how would you guys rate it?
There's a lot of things I need.
There's a lot. There's a lot to it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
The faction also has a subtype. I like that in a faction. So, because I grab tools from it all the time, and if I wanted to, I could make a fun Chaos or Cultist spam deck. I'm gonna give it like an 8. 8 seems good. I wouldn't say that they're perfect, but there's enough tools in there that I need, or just fun things I can play. That's important to me.
How about you, Karmatose? As you transform this lowly, I wonder if we're going to get Oxub as a neutral option once we get through the waves. Oh, you got another one. Nice.
Honestly, I forgot. This was one of my favorite memes in general. Was Taint spam or Mark of Chaos spam, and so this is just delightful. I'm having an old time blast.
Grab him by the taint? Is that the name of this deck?
I don't like that. I don't like what you just agreed.
I mean, if you can come up with a better name.
I can't.
Many can't. Look at that. +2/+2. That's hot. I don't know. I give him a 6. I don't enjoy the faction as a whole. Like, if I play Cultists, I play Cultists. That's about it. I feel like it's just such a hodgepodgey. Like, I get that it's got a lot of damage cards that are useful. It's got Cultists, it's got Demons, but I'm not a fan
It's
of
probably the least common hard that I sneak into actual factions. But if I'm doing 100% chaos, I think 100% chaos is my favorite neutral. It's just this weird bizarro fun. Getting out Slave Worlds, like the energy turn 4, it's crazy.
I feel like once Mechanicum gets some special things that they'll be really fun to run mono of. Because right now Chaos is just the best to run mono of because they have all this unique, like demons, cultists, all that fun stuff.
Ooh, that's a big slayer. That's a massive beast. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're going cultist, they've got synergy. They didn't used to. They didn't used to have that cultist synergy. It was like, yeah, it's a cultist, yay. I guess I don't have enough troops or I don't have enough cards to build a deck. I need some infantry, but now they do.
When they had cultist synergy, Cygnus. Rumors on the winds say that next week, or I guess tomorrow by the time you hear this, we may be getting Dark Mechanicum cards.
Well, hear this. On Twitch, you're watching it live right now.
That's why I said next week. I gave them 2 times, Stuffy boy. Because we are on a Friday.
That's right. Well, that's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that having my spoilers in hand. It's a possibility.
Having probably seen them, having probably know exactly what we're talking about, it's a possibility. Is this what I'm being told?
What I'm saying is, it's a possibility.
You bastard. You know secrets that you will not share.
That's half the fun of having spoilers, really, is being sworn to secrecy for like 2 days. It's not like like at this point, like by the time we get the spoilers, they've already been data mined, and somebody out there's already leaking stuff out there. Like this last wave of spoilers, really, like everybody knew everything of what they did. There's really no spoiler videos except to show the stats. I was like, oh look, that ability, it's on a 4/4, or that ability, it's on a 5/5. Like that's really all that you got to see. Everybody else who was following those data downloads was aware of what the cards did, and it kind of just takes a lot of the thrill out of that.
Yeah, as much as I respect the data miners for what they do, it does make things dreadfully boring.
Yeah, and but it's a catch-22. You gotta live for those highs, for those moments when you get the spoilers, and you get the previews, and then you go right back to preview less. Not doing currently oils.
Yeah, I mean, in that I guess they never quite reached out to me, but I think in my last mini videos I was just lamenting that like I don't really have time to do anything, and they maybe took that as a hint, or maybe I said the wrong thing in one of the last 3 videos with reveals. Who knows?
There's a group chat now with the community manager of the content creators. Are you not in that?
Yeah. He, no, I guess I'm not. But he did message me directly last time, which included, that's how he would distribute the previews to me. He also gave me 3 codes.
That might have
been. I wonder if anybody noticed.
Yeah, was that back in Galaxy and Flames?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the chat got set up kind of mid of that. So reach out to him, like get added back to that chat, or the group chat, I should say. It's not everybody's in there, because I have a list. There's like at least 15 active content creators of varying amounts. Like some do many more videos than others. Some do like 1 video every 3 months. But I got a list just because it's like I like to know who's in the community. Check this out. This person does some stuff. But it's more like at least like 6 or 7 do videos for. I don't know if it's available for all that again. I mean, I don't know what your availability looks like, but if it looks like that's something that down the road, obviously this expansion's wrapping up, but I kind of sort of anticipate an expansion come December, January. Some people might call that crazy, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Content creators. Shout out to my boy Mass Sucker, which, by the way, amazing name, but his was highly edited. Really
all his stuff is really, really sharp. Like,
editing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, he's got some serious, like some good visual effects and everything. Like, I don't know what he uses skills in that, but I reached out to him when we did the podcast because I want to say it was about almost a year ago, when he first put his first video out. But I guess there's a language issue. I don't know if he was super comfortable doing English the whole way through, although he speaks English on the videos.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road.
That could be an option.
But yeah, like his stuff is sharp. I was like, wow, this looks pro. This looks like a pro vid.
Yeah.
Dang. Hey, here
and
I am.
At least it's not that
throwing up videos on my phone.
Yeah, all I've ever done is just OBS all the way through once.
Yeah, I can't.
Hey, that's what
I mean, I use OBS, but I don't do a whole lot of scene switches. Like, I might toggle back and forth between things, but once I get the game up and going, it's just the game. And then when I do editing, that's it. Like, I don't have, like, cool graphics. I don't have all that stuff. Like, I tried that a couple times with some different apps. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's a lot of work for like 2 seconds that doesn't seem to be appreciated by too many people. So they just want to see the game get played. For me, on my end anyways, I don't know. Granted, I don't have like 1,000 people tune in to watch every video. I mean, if I get like 200, I'm happy. So
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I guess, Legions and other things, what are you doing? What have you been doing when you're not playing Legions, Karmatose?
Lots of X-Wing tabletop tournaments and local league play.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's good stuff. I got an obnoxiously large collection on my wall. Was trying to get into hobbies that involved a little more literal humans instead of digital anonymous people who could be bots for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And are you playing 3rd edition or 2nd edition or 1st?
For X-Wing, I think it's called 2.5.
Oh, 2.5. Oh.
Middle ground.
Well, it's because they had 1.0 from like 2015 until I don't know when. Then they released 2.0 and released a bunch of what do they call that stuff?
It was like it wasn't an expansion pack,
kit.
but it was a conversion kit. Yeah, exactly.
It was like a full-on shift update. And then now they have a new rule set because the ownership got transferred to AMG, and that's what's called 2.5. It's because it's all the content from before, but not. Ooh, what am I going to do about you, buddy?
I didn't realize that the content or the ownership had changed. That was the issue from it. So it's no longer Fantasy Flight Games.
Flight Games.
That
Fantasy
might be.
Flight Games lost.
But they still are doing Star Wars Legions. It's a different Legion.
Yeah, there's still no. Legions is also AMG now.
Really? Okay. All right. So they lost the whole Star Wars.
Flight over to. Well, I don't know about lost, but sold or gave or
whatever. I mean, like ultimately, the game is still alive though, which is good because that's a big thing when an IP goes. It is typically the game is dead and that's it. Like you get what you get, but I mean, if it's being purchased as a game as well as the IP, that's cool because then you've got more life out of it. I mean, that happens in card games all the time. Where like, oh, hey, like this publisher, whatever, lost the rights to this game. It's happened with Star Wars. It's happened with Dragon Ball Z. It's not like that. That's it. You've got a dead card game on your hands. Maybe you'll get a different game with that title, that IP, but it's going to be a totally different game, and none of your cards are going to be worth anything.
Are you familiar with the what's that thing called? It was the FFG 40K card game.
Yes, Conquest.
Yeah,
Conquest.
Yep.
That's an example of they lost the rights,
yes,
and so they just like stopped production on their like last or most recent wave, mid-wave through.
Yes, which is a shame because they had just introduced Tyranid, and it was like, and they did expansion, which was like I think 2 packs, and it was it. And it was like there's so much more to do. Like Necrons, we just got Necrons like 3 months before that. Like we're everything's here. Like let's go. And now we lost the rights, and part of that was because Fantasy Flight dove full into the Star Wars miniature game, and Games Workshop was like, whoa, like you can't do miniatures. Like that's our thing. Like if you're going to be doing another miniature game, you're going to compete with our product. You can't sell our product. So yeah, they pulled all their which sucked. because it was a really good game.
Games Workshop is great at making bad decisions.
I'll
still give the money at the end of the day because they are if I have to, I am the pirate crab Yarhar Filthy D, but they do kind of have a monopoly on their own business, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's valid. It's a valid reputation.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's their business.
Well,
they're probably still buy models from them.
Yeah,
I don't make them illegally.
We'll have to find them. One day they'll lose money, and then they'll change something, but we won't know it because they'll pass it on. It's like, oh.
Have you gotten into the 30K releases for minis?
I want to.
Yes, I bought the Age of Darkness box. I have it. Or rather, I would have had the stuff coming in, if not for some delays, but like the plastic glue and such. I'm going to start assembling them soon. I think I'm going to paint them Alpha Legion because, kind of the best Legion, right? And also the rules on tabletop are goofy to me. Whenever you go to shoot them or charge them, they count as 2 inches or further than they actually are. And I love the idea of you running up to someone and them just not being there. And you're like, oh.
I thought you were closer.
Okay. Nah.
I don't know. They looked closer when we were over there by that hill, but now that we're here. That's not bad.
Wrong.
Yeah, I want to. But I'm not going to play. Like, I know that I won't play, but I would like to get the box and have it and be like, now at least I can have it. But I don't know if I can make that swing. We'll see. Time will tell. I have some time.
It's pricey, but it is for 54 models.
Yeah.
$300 ain't bad.
Yeah, it's
pretty good.
You don't have to split it and be like, well, one half of this one. Like, it's just because they're both space. Like, it's just a full army in a box. Here you go.
Well, it's not even that. It's enough for 40 Marines and 10 Terminators. It's enough for 2 armies
and a Dread and a tank and 2 Predators. Let's go.
Yeah, it is enough models for 2 people, and I'm gonna keep this all to myself.
Yeah.
This is mine.
I want to.
Yeah, no, it's great.
We'll see. I've seen a couple places where it's a little cheaper than normal, but I don't know. I can't swing it now.
If it makes you
feel
better,
that way. So
it comes with Imperial Fist transfer sheet.
I know. That's what they'll be. Like, if I get it, it's not going to be any other Legion. I mean, it's going to be the Imperial Fists. Like,
it's got to be the boys.
That's just it. Like, and that's not a bandwagon. Like, I've been diehard Son of Dorn fan.
Yeah, you're
since I started playing way back when.
I mean, you're no Valrak.
Let's not label. Let's not throw around slurs here. Like, let's not be hateful. Like,
see, my problem is, I still have like 2,000 points of chaos that is relatively built, but majoritively unpainted, and
that works.
That always takes me out. Yeah. I can play it. I don't know. Haven't quite met the community with that front. X-Wing, on the other hand, comes pre-painted.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Like, I've seen some people, and I think some of the ones that you showed look like somebody had done the painting on the ones that you picked up. But yeah, like if you just want to get it out of the
box, I've customly repainted some myself.
See, there you go. Like, I saw when the Falcon came out, like way back when, like they're already molded it up, made it, because the Falcon was the Falcon, like the Millennium Falcon. But then some people were like, well, I want to do a YT-1300 that isn't beat up like the Falcon and make it actually look like it's brand new YT-1300. And you can. Like, I mean, if you got the skills and you got the hobby, why not? Like, now that, and then the movie Solo shows us what the Falcon's supposed to look like, a factory release, fresh out the box.
It's nice.
Anyways, what have you been up to when you're not playing Legions there, Axel?
What have I been up to? I gotta actually think. No, not really. I've been assembling the army. It's coming together. I'm still really deciding on what faction, but I think I've locked in Alpha Legion. Because A, it's just a good color scheme. I like the bluish green. It looks good. And B, the rules are goofy and I love it. Besides that, I'm still running my D&D campaign. I still regularly go through the many monster manuals as in the monster manual and then the many like Mordecai's and stuff like that, to find the dumbest creature combinations possible to throw at the party. Because one of my players gave me the revelation that his other DMs don't pick anything out of the just default monster manual because they're afraid it's too crazy. You show up to a campaign, expect bullshit. I'm talking about 5e, of course, because it's easy to teach new players. I play Pathfinder with my friends, but not new players.
Mm-hmm.
Good time. I have a blast.
All right.
D&D's good fun.
I have not
that's
been doing
me.
much. I've been staying busy, but I couldn't tell you what. Like, it's summertime, so there's something to do every weekend. There's a lot of activity. There's family stuff going on. There's, like, vacations and weekend trips. And it's been busy. So, when I'm not playing Legions, I don't know, like, what I'm doing. Like, it's something every day. And that's part of summertime. Great. It's fine. I'm all right with it.
Yeah. Life's busy. I mean, my break finally ended, so I'm off my vacation. It's a shame. I came back to the best example of incompetence I've seen in a while. I guess Axel does have a story time with me happening. I've had a mental breakdown. Not literally, but my entire work works off of a digital system. When we put, like, I fixed propane tanks. We put propane tanks in the system. They redid the entire system while we were gone. They forgot to tell the company that they were redoing the system. So when they redid all of it, the company deleted it thinking it was a virus. We have no system anymore and we can't do our job. And they want us to still do our job. Crab is not having a good time.
It sounds like business.
They're the ones that are going to lose their time, but I can see that's definitely still stressful for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainly just I have to run around writing down serial numbers all day and it's driving me crazy. Oh well, just minor gripes with the crab.
Okay, like, I mean, just a quick aside here. Like, we're not gonna point out the fact that he played Missile Battery.
I
mean, I
think
guess
he got it with this.
He wins.
He chose an Imperial Army card and put it in his hand.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
He chose that.
All right, that's fair. I was gonna say.
Stork lets you choose 3, doesn't it? It's not random.
It's
a choose 3.
Yeah.
He made the
that was
choice.
the best of 3.
What was his other 2 options?
Yeah, they must have been.
And why
bad.
was Missile Battery the best one? And why was Missile Battery the best one?
He was like, "Listen, this is big brain play right here. This is what we call pro gamer move."
I am absolutely perplexed. Also, shout out to Priest of Old Faith. I forgot their name when we were talking about them earlier. Those guys are a blessing in Wordbearer deck.
Oh yeah.
Demon Astartes count.
Yep.
Demon Astartes count.
Yep. Your demons are -1, which includes your Demon Astartes. That's true.
Yeah.
And
don't forget that.
And their infantry, which works for your sack. So.
Yeah.
The third, if there was a third favorite, which I never mentioned, Priest of Old Faith is just so utility for everything super demon themed.
And it's
you can tell I'm
duplicitous.
having a blast.
Yeah.
And it's duplicitous. It's got all the right vibes.
It's got all the right vibes.
Yeah.
Is this a random enemy? What happened? Why did he not kill my 5/5 double tap?
Because he was like, "Listen, I already
Gas
played Missile Battery. I win, baby."
Yeah, he played Missile Battery. Yeah, he already won the game.
He won.
Yeah.
He didn't need
That's it. He proved his superiority by playing that card.
He proved he had Missile Battery.
He asserted
Well, so far
dominance.
Chaos is undefeated so far.
Nice. Ingatha.
Yeah.
Bring it. Well,
I love how she looks with the gerbil.
Karmatose, you got anything you'd like to plug while you're on? I think the questions are dried up from the few viewers that we've got left. Not that we had a wave of them, but we had a few.
We had a couple.
If anyone's paid attention, I think I named this deck Code for 1,000 Coins. So write that down.
Whoa.
I might have to flash it at the end. First come, first serve, I guess.
There you go, and that's just for those people tuning into the Twitch live chat. What? So stick on. Those 3 viewers are now going to be scrambling to get that code in first. That's 1,000
I'm
gold.
gonna start sliding around. At least I think so. Let me read this. Hey, blah 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 blah. Here they are anyway. Oh yeah, 1K coin promo codes. Yep. They gave it to me back in December of 2021, and I never gave them out.
Oh, well.
I forgot I had them. I hope they still work.
They should still
So I should add that caveat, but I didn't use them. I asked if I could, and he said they would know.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
He just doesn't like your demon. doesn't like the idea of what you can do. I've got promo codes to
Yes.
give away too, but I don't know when I'm doing the next Steam stream. I don't know when I'm going to do that next. I wanted to do one last weekend, but things get kind of busy. So I've got an abundance of promo codes, actually. Typically I usually have 3, but I think this time around I've got 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do that. How we're going to give those promo codes away in, maybe it'll be in July, maybe it'll be in August. So stay tuned. It'll be some sort of stream related to Titan Death, the faction, and ideally new cards, not Titans.
Not the book?
Yeah, no, not the book. Not the book. The expansion.
Sure.
Yeah. It's related to, first off, the first 3 people who've read Titan Death and can tell me why 240 pages of it are awesome, and the 60 pages
I
at the
thought
end
you
are
were going to
not.
ask.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like
for the first 3 people who can tell me why they read Titan Death.
So why they
there.
read it. Exactly. Why did you read it again?
And how did you enjoy it?
We'll see. We'll see
Or
what we
rather,
can
why
come
did
up with, though, for the
that's bad.
for those promos to give away. But other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and plug deck slots, because it's not a week until we plug the deck slots. That's right. We got 1, and we need 3 more. Like, the shortage of deck slots is beginning to hurt. It's bad.
Maybe it's deserved.
No.
You ever consider that?
No.
Maybe a punishment?
I think they need to put more focus on slots and less focus on Titans, and I think we'll be okay.
What if the Titans each got their own slot, but that's it? A slot specifically just for Titans.
I would be okay with it, because then that's technically at least 6 deck slots that we don't have.
You're right. Also, news for those wondering: our previous Titan Crucibles, a couple of them got moved to the Titan faction, so that may come along.
Okay. That could be an interesting 4th option. Maybe tone down a little bit. All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, you got anything to plug there, Axel?
Do I got anything to plug? I'll just plug my boy Deforn. That's Drew Lee Clark on Instagram.
Okay.
He does beautiful art, and he's great.
All right. Well, we got a couple other viewers hopping on here late as we 2-hour mark. But if you guys have got any questions there in chat for the 5 out there, really quick, rapid fire them off. What do you got to say? What do you got to ask? If you don't have anything at all, just give us a thumbs up. Do a shout out. Shout outs to Juan Dan, who wanted a shout out. So we're doing a shout out for him. Shout out to the 5 people who showed up. Actually, I think we end up with like 8 actual different people on the Twitch stream, which is great. For the first
People
go,
pop in and out. For the first go, that kind of just appeared.
Yeah,
For some people.
I'll take it.
I saw the Reddit post.
I hope it was enjoyable. I hope the few that stuck around at least didn't mind sitting and listening and talking or asking some questions. A little different engagement, slightly different format than we normally do. And for those who are listening to this on a podcast application after the fact, hopefully it's not super confusing, and maybe the next time we have one, you will be able to attend.
Last thing you'd want to do is confuse the players.
Yeah, no, don't want that. That's trending, by the way. I can't tell if my post about confusing the players is what's causing that upvote, or if it's the Give Us Garo. I want to say it's Give Us Garo. It might be both. I think it's a perfect tweet, but I don't tweet, so it's a Reddit post instead.
I mean, we need Garo. Well, we have Garo, but not what we want.
No,
we got the Garo we don't want, nor
it's not the Garo you need. It's the Garo you deserve. Where is he?
So, a character that his own faction.
That's right. He's a Legion of One. He should be in a different faction. That's for sure. Well,
to be fair, it's the theme, I guess.
That is all I've got to go off of as well. Karmatose, want to thank you for making the time and test running this with us and giving this crazy format a chance and playing some games while you were answering questions as well. That's always...
And thanks for answering my questions, because I'm not super in the loop, so it's nice to get a little caught up on the details I missed.
It's always fun. And it's fun to see you back. Your meme decks are always fun.
Yeah. And hopefully
you might see something like this coming up.
Yeah, you get some of that meme feeling meme bones. Dig down deep.
Oh, the name is wrong. I'm sorry. Everyone's trying this code.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Sorry, dyslexia.
Uh-oh. He's renaming the code. Are you putting it in chat? All right, well, it is a Friday night for those who've tuned in, and for those who've joined us, and obviously for Axel and Karmatose, I want to say thanks, and we'll talk again next week.
Surprised I made it.
Next week, we're talking with a couple...
Roger D. Lumber.
Yeah, next week, both of our guests are from Reddit, so we're going to have a double Reddit guest episode. I don't yet exactly know what we're going to be talking about. I just had cards per cost, but I feel like it's a really vague topic, so we might have maybe some game updates, maybe something to go off of. Maybe we'll just literally talk about the best cards for cost. I don't know, but check it out. We'll talk to you then. Bye.
Well, bye.
Goodbye.
It ends here.
This has been another episode of the Warp Chatter Podcast. Thank you for listening.
I can't help but appreciate your talents.
It was inspiring.
I need some mood.